I'm gonna lay down.
Then lay down.
You can do the show vertical.
That's what you do. That's what you do. That's the position you used to.
I'm currently laying down. Shit.
I got a position for you.
No, thank you. I pass.
That's a first. That's a first.
I have standards. The rule, not mean that. I'm just saying.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. I got standards. What are they built out of styrofoam? These are styrofoam standards.
Yes.
Oh,
we don't. We believe in using all biodegradable products. We don't use the byproducts any longer. Stop! You're offending our straight guy on this panel with this gay talk. I'm trying to be straight today, nigga.
Oh, not with that eyeliner showing that eyeliner. That blush.
That's not eyeliner or blush. That is again bronzing skin. It's in the Bible. Look it up. It's in Revelations. You notice the book is called Revelations. Show Revelations. It's your inner you.
Ain't nobody fooling with you. Nobody's fooling with you today. No one.
Look at who decides to show up.
Hi.
This shit is meow.
No, I said hi.
No, that was my pussy.
Oh. It would be, wouldn't it? Would be.
You heard it. You hear it meow. That means that thing is on a prowl.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and the sad thing is, we already probably started the air. We probably on air and everything. Yeah. And this part of the conversation, because Monty always sets us up. This is the stuff that he likes.
No. You're not going to try to bring me in this because I said 30 seconds of quiet and you'll hear the applause like 5 minutes ago.
He did.
It was him.
Okay, Aretha.
Go ahead, Aretha.
Need a slicker?
Go, Aretha. All right.
The show is on. Come on. Hello.
You ain't say nothing about no applause and nothing. Ain't nothing came on yet. I swear for goodness, there was not an applause. Anyway, hello out there in internet land, my kitten caboodles. He always setting us up. I'm trying to tell you. But anyway, y'all done heard the side conversation and everything, but that's what we do here at the Kocktail Social. It's that type of show. Welcome again for another segment of the Kocktail Social. I'm your host, Blue Waters. These are my socialites. We are in here and we are in rare form already. So I hope you've grabbed your cocktails because we're about to go in again. So, how are my socialites? Hey, Cable, thank you for joining us. I didn't think he was going to show up until 8:30, baby.
I was joking about it. I told you I was off.
Oh, shit. I was about to say, we thought you was doing your second job.
Ooh.
I ain't going to tell him about that one.
Ooh.
Whatever.
You told us.
We know what job that is.
I don't know what job you talking about. I work at Forever 21 for my second job.
All right. Hey. How's everyone doing today? Because it's wet. It's a wet Friday. Everybody's a little bit down.
A wet Friday sounds interesting.
Sounds wet.
Well, the coronavirus spiked in Baltimore. Y'all hear about that?
It's spiking all over the world.
Is it for real? Wow.
It's so ungood.
Because y'all want to go out and party.
Cool.
I've been seeing you out there partying.
Oh, you haven't seen me partying? I'll go out there.
You said, well, good.
I mean, I had a little get together, but it was socially good. It was a good, healthy number of individuals. Notice I said healthy number.
That sigh was so much.
No one's interested in Blue's sexual escapades, so we
It wasn't that type of party. I was there.
Thank you.
I was about to say, I beg your pardon.
I don't know what he did after, but I know it before. It was.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
It did smell a little musty in there when we got in there, though.
That was the people that was downstairs because the people upstairs was fine. It came in through the front doors.
I can't.
It came in with the visitors. It wasn't here when it wasn't here before the visitors showed up.
I beg to differ.
It came with a lot of wops. So anywho, let's begin. First of all, how's everybody's week been?
Well,
We don't see you, honey. I mean, literally, we don't see you.
I know I'm eating noodles.
So you don't want the world to know what that mouth do?
The ones who need to know.
Oh, she said the ones. Wait, that's the F.
That was plural, wasn't it? That was. I did pass English. I did pass English. You said the ones. I said, "Ooh, is that Mimi?" Ooh, baby. I thought it was a look. I thought that me and Nate was the only hoes. Me, Nate, and Cable were the only hoes.
No, it ain't got to be sexual to use your mouth, man.
That's true. That's true.
What you say?
I said it don't have to always be sexual to use your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about that. You know,
Ain't no Nendo.
We ain't gonna. Okay, girl. Okay. That was deep.
Whatever you say.
That was deep, girl.
That was deep, girl.
Y'all are
Okay.
stop it out.
Well, this is the Cocktail Social, so what can you expect? By the way, if you've tuned in, make sure that you comment, join in on a conversation. Don't let it be just about us. Join and have your 2Ps, say what you need to say, because we are going to respond to you.
True story.
True story. Who's going to open up our cocktail question? I don't want to be first. I like to go last.
Selfish. You're selfish.
I'm okay with sloppy seconds.
We know.
Coming from a second.
That sounds personal.
Coming from a second.
Wait.
I told you a bitch is ready today. A bitch is ready. I've been drinking.
That's what happens on a wet Friday.
Okay. I'm gonna let you go.
You gonna let me? Do you have a question? Are you gonna start? Are you gonna open us up?
Hey, well, you cannot let him get away with that.
I just asked him if he was gonna open us up, but he ain't say nothing.
Sound like somebody already open.
Right.
So did anyone watch the Billboard Music Awards?
I didn't even know they was on or coming out or none of that.
I haven't watched an award show since I'm gonna say 2000.
Oh wow, yeah. It's been a minute for me too.
Oh, I
don't even.
All I'm gonna say is I'm terribly upset with In Vogue. They put them dead last, and they only did one song.
Free Your
They
Mind.
didn't even have all the members, so it was pointless.
Wasn't that such a? I was so. First of all, I didn't watch the show. I looked
Who's the member that didn't show up? Dawn.
Dawn and Max.
You said all of them.
He said all of them.
It was only two up there, even though three bodies was gracing the stage. I mean, I'm sorry. The other girl could sing, but she would never be in vogue in my eyes, and that's just. I'm sorry. It's just not gonna happen.
Nope.
Oh, they replaced 2 members on. It's 2 members that's
No,
been replaced.
No. Oh,
One.
Dawn and what is it? Maxine
Maxine.
and Dawn.
Did he
And
just
them
say
the 2 I like. Those were the 2 I like to hear sing.
Right. Those are the
Right.
2 with the voices.
so? Dawn and Maxine are gone.
Yeah, because
That's crazy.
the other 2 girls bought the rights to the group. So
Yeah, they did.
Oh wow.
What was the girl? Terry. Terry, what's her
Terry
name?
Terry
yeah,
Ellis.
she cute, but she just got that one note she can hit.
He wrong.
And see, y'all said that I was shady. That's the shady one.
Y'all
Pay
know she
attention.
only got that one crescendo that she does. That's what she do.
He's
That's how
terrible.
it is.
He's terrible.
You heard Lee Terry Ellis.
She cute.
You said that one crescendo. Did she
Yeah,
do it in a
just know how
song?
to do that one thing.
One note.
That one note.
She's a shady lady.
Terrible and terrible.
I swear, for goodness.
Doja
So what
Cat.
else? Tell me something about the show. What was going on with it?
I said, well, Doja Cat did a good job. Actually, I was really actually surprised. I don't follow her, know who she is, but I watched the performance and I was actually pretty amazed.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of music do she do?
What does the cat do? Yeah, I don't know what is it.
She sings and rap, and she pretty much did both. But she like did a whole dancing. It was like almost looked like burlesque, almost on the stage. It was really hot what she did. I was actually really impressed with her performance. Won't listen to her music like that, but I was definitely impressed with her performance.
Obviously, you wasn't because you didn't want to go listen.
Oh
to
no.
music.
I listened to a couple of her songs, and I was great with the performance in those 2. I'm good. She did a job.
She wasn't a Brandy or anything.
Nah.
Brandy performed too, and she did a very good job. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Oh, what did she do?
She sang Borderline No Tomorrow remix with Ty Dolla $ign, and then she did a rendition of Almost Doesn't Count.
Whole
That was-
person.
I like
so.
What the fuck is borderline? Like Madonna? Borderline?
Oh, it's talk about mental illness. It's one of her new songs. Actually, it's in the top 10 on 2 charts.
Okay. All right. Do you get any points for that?
I'm just saying.
Oh, hey, Brandy.
I just
Do you
said
get honorable mention on her album for marketing?
I mean, I should.
The official sponsor.
I should.
Oh, you're a part of. Are you the president of her fan club?
No, I do. I do have a group on Facebook though.
All right.
Invite me. Let me talk about work.
We don't want no haters.
I listen to Brandy.
Child, bye. Ain't nobody talk about the first album, child. I don't no time for you.
Nah.
Oh, so you hating on the people that only like the first album?
No, that is not true. I listened to the second one too.
She got 2 albums?
Oh, y'all terrible. Oh, terrible. Oh, man.
You know what? I wasn't going to say nothing, but I'm going to call my attention to it later. So moving on from who's going to open up. First of all, we had a good list of questions, and I'm going to, don't make me pull your cards. Now,
I'll start with this. This is pretty cool. This happened today, a matter of fact. I got a message. I did a post, I guess, last week about the Savage Fenty show. Just because, being a fat nigga, it was good to see some other fat niggas on there. It was it was a crazy moment.
And they had one tank top.
I feel like
it was so good.
I feel like if you grew up big, then where you always had people question that shit and made it feel like it was something wrong with it. Like, and I didn't ever understand it because nigga, I like to eat. But you know, it was just good to see some other people. And I feel like maybe if I had seen it when I was like 6, then it would have been pretty cool. So but I did a whole little thing about it just because I did think it was cool. And Savage Fenty got back to me today. They hit me up.
Okay,
You finna be a model, Johnny.
I ain't being no goddamn model. But
I mean, because let me tell you something. I get you right. I got this. Look. I'm doing everything.
I want to be the designated oiler.
The greaser upper.
Well, look.
I just like that clothes, like normally when you're shopping and you're heavier, you have to pay a couple extra dollars for your clothes, and her clothes aren't priced that way. Like that's what I like about it. They not that damn cheap, but they're not like super expensive, and you're not paying a couple extra dollars for every L that's added to your clothes.
Right.
That's what I like about it.
It's like what, $15 more per L?
I mean, depending on what the brand is.
You got charged by the yard. You got charged by the yard.
You paying for them extras. That's what you're paying for.
Yeah,
right.
shit.
No, but I think it's cool that there's so many fashion companies now that recognize that there are just some badass people out there. And
shit, they should have been doing that in America, period. Everybody in America.
But the thing is that they're not ashamed of it, and that they just want to wear some fucking clothes that look good and fit. So
and don't have to have a big print on it all the time.
Right. It's
just monotone, just one color.
Yeah, it's like, you know, big people feel sexy like that.
Or like the shirt is just basically a box, 2 boxes, 2 squares stitched together.
Yeah.
Man, let me tell you, the best thing ever happened was them damn jeans for men that got that elastic in there. That shit is fucking gold. Let me tell you.
That was revolutionary for a lot of men.
Rockaware started doing that because I used to buy a lot of Rockaware jeans and Old Navy too.
Yeah, Old Navy. I like Old Navy jeans.
The first pair I bought was some Levi's, and they had it in there, and it was like heaven, fucking heaven.
I can move.
But it was cool. I don't know.
I can eat more.
No, fuck that. I can get in and out the car.
Sit up there with a pair of maternity jeans on.
They just need
some denim scrubs.
They just need to invent something for the inner thigh part. Once they just make the jeans thicker there. So we got a couple years.
So when the rubbing starts, it don't wear the material down. Yeah.
Make it a little bit thicker.
Make the seam a little tougher.
Almost like knee patches, you know what I mean? For the thighs.
Yeah, you know.
Thigh patches. Thigh patches.
Thigh patches. You need some thigh patches.
But I will say this though, shout out to some of the black brands. They have been making it for, you know, especially for black men who may need some more ass room, dick room, and thigh room. And they definitely have.
Yeah, because I've seen a couple of dudes out there look like they had on like some leggings or something because their pants was just too tight. Because they don't make
they don't make them for us.
Butt size, you can't wear super tight jeans and think that it's going to look appropriate. Like it looks strange.
Well, I used to have to tell Corey back in the day when he was a little chunkier, like you can't shop in Abercrombie and Fitch. You can't shop in those places because
there's nowhere else to really.
They cut short in the crotch though. They're not made for men who have a muscular.
They low rides
bottoms.
And that's how they make. But that's how they make clothes. It's only a few foot. Like Old Navy, like I buy their jeans, but it's randomly that they really have a nice pair of jeans that's actually my size.
What about the Big and Tall store? Did they have good stuff?
Oh, they fucking was robbing shit out of people.
Big and tall, besides the fact they cost you fucking much.
That part.
They clothes too goddamn big. Man, I'm big, but goddamn.
But see, that's for big and tall. You got to be big and tall to go in there.
But even still, like those clothes aren't tailored well. Like that's like that store XL, Total Male, Dress Barn, Catherine's. All of those are like plus size stores, and all of their clothes are shaped like boxes. It's like you are this big, we're gonna cut it this big, not give it no shape. It's not gonna be flattering on you no kind of way.
White men are shaped like that. I'm not. That's not.
I can't.
That's not. It's the same thing for y'all. Like it's shaped for a European standard. I have curves, and I'm not afraid to say it. Thank you, 50. But I mean, that's just the sometimes we have to buy our clothes. Like I have to buy my clothes a little bit, like a size up, and get them tapered in, and then get the leg part taped up or hemmed. And, you know, it's too much.
It's a lot.
Most of us are art sizes, or you know,
like them in between sizes.
Yeah, so
See,
it's hard to buy clothes.
Is my ass sits up on my back.
Wow.
So I can't be pulling shit all the way up because I ain't walking around with my like I'm gonna look like
you had to get you some jeans with bubbles in the back.
Yeah, fuck that shit. I literally, if, like people talk about sagging, if I did not sag and I wore it where my natural waist starts, it looked like I was selling ass all over the county. It looked like one of them cats when they walk around with the ass all up in there. I just
Wow.
Me meow meow.
Meow meow.
Oh, meow meow.
They really started just making really good clothes for plus size women. So just imagine we ain't
I was about to say,
yeah, because
I was about to say that. I was about to say, I think that the movement with plus size women, I'm glad that they're actually acknowledging plus size men. I think that, you know, I really respect Rihanna's
and I think too, when they making plus size clothes, I think they just think that because you're plus size that you're automatically round. But you have plus size women
that's some white people
shape. You know what I mean?
Honestly, I think that they think because you're fat, I think they think you're ashamed. So they want to make clothes that just kind of hide everything.
So you look like
shame sheet. They putting you in a shame sheet.
Right.
Like a little sheet. Everything
Did you say a shame
sheet? It's just big and no shape and just
it's the material that they make couches out of. That's the shit that they put on, make for outfits. I don't dress like that. I went into a big and tall one time, and I'm too short really to shop in there.
Yeah, you look like you have on a dress you put on one of their shirts.
Right. But I went in there and I was like, this is couch material. Don't nobody dress like this. I'm not. No.
A shame sheet.
You put a shirt that already had arm rest built in the bitch.
I can't.
I really can't.
On a serious note, though, it's good though that all of this is happening because they don't recognize that there are a lot of boys who do face body issues. Because even when you see a plus size woman and she has a man and she's like this big muscular dude in a picture with her, and you know it's never the fat guy is he's the joke. It's like, you know, if he's on TV, then he's the funny one, or he's just some dumbass husband that don't know what he's doing. And it's very rarely that you will see a big dude who is sexual or who is cool or who is just fucking chill. And you know, I mean, I know I used to, when I was younger, I used to fucking pull on my shirt. That was my like fat tick. I would pull the fuck out of my shirt. I don't know, like I felt like if I pulled my shirt, then maybe you didn't see the fat. And it was stupid. It was dumb as shit. And it was like, cause you know, you just stand there pulling on your shit constantly, like
when you do that, it make people automatically think your clothes too small.
But it's also the same way for tall people, because for tall people, certain lengths of things they don't have in ordinary stores. And so for me, I have to actually look for a specific length. And it's nothing like having a high water shirt. So, you know, when the sleeve,
right, you're in there looking like Winnie the Pooh in that joint with your name.
When you got to pull at the sleeve of your shirt so that it looked like it, but when you actually, your hands hang down like orangutan.
I know what you mean, because I'm a tall female, and it's hard to find pants the right length.
So I'm glad that they're actually moving in that direction. I'm glad that Rihanna is actually an ambassador for that type of change. You know,
and it's affordable.
It's affordable. I love her business sense. I think that I just give her a shout out. You know, Rihanna, I mean, I've heard some things about her personality, but I think with regards to her as a woman and her business sense, I have a lot of respect for her. So I think it was an excellent show, and I'm glad that she's moved in that direction. I'm glad. Shout out to my big guys, because I like big guys. I wouldn't say I'm a chubby chaser, but I like the big football type of dude. So I'm okay with
my living off the chubby chaser. I love chubby chaser. Come on, get this chubby.
So I mean,
rub you down to some gravy.
I'm from the old school. Yeah, I'm from the old school. If you didn't have any meat on you, you were either down or you were a crackhead. So I'm good with meat.
Yeah.
I'm good with some thickness. I'd rather, if I had to choose between the two extremes, I'd rather be with someone that was kind of a little bit thicker than a little skinny. Because if you're too skinny, I'm automatically thinking like, I don't know, that could be crack.
I just feel like if you're too skinny, if a shootout happened, you ain't thick enough to block me from the bullets.
I
You're standing in front of me, come out. Right. And I'm getting shot like shit. Right.
you gotta put him over your shoulders.
He's some weight on you.
No.
and also I don't want a man
behind a goddamn stop sign. That shit ain't gonna work.
And also I don't want a man that's easy to toss around. If we get into a scuffle or something out in the street, I don't want you on World Star being DDT.
Yeah, because
I want them to struggle with your big ass. I don't want you to be out there being tossed around by somebody.
Look, when they finish the fight, I want to be like that.
Right. But moving on. Next question. That was good. Thank you, Mr. Gilmore. Anyone?
Let's say, what skills do you have that you could bring to a community that would help its survival?
That's good.
That is really good. That's true because if you was to say that everybody's buying guns, and if there was a big situation where we actually had to pull together and create our own stuff, what would we all bring? Now,
I got that watch. I know.
I cannot.
Procreation, baby. That's what it is.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think.
I'm good with building. I'm good with building. I'm good with construction type stuff. I'm really good with that type of stuff.
Oh,
so me.
I ain't never seen you with a hammer.
Oh shit!
With a screwdriver.
I'm with both. I nail things in and I screw things in. So
screw them up.
I'm with both. Actually, that's what I do. I put everything together. At my house, I'm the person that fixes things, and that's fine. I like to do that type of stuff.
Yeah,
actually, I'm good with. Only reason why I don't paint as much as I do is because I'm really meticulous with it, and it takes me more time than it would an average person. Because I want to sand it down, I want to smooth it out, I want to, I'm that type of person. I'm gonna strip off the old paint and all of that stuff.
Oh no, you doing too much.
The funny thing is,
over top of that shit.
And the funny thing is that I didn't learn it from a man. I learned it from my mom. My mom was excellent. Like she, sanding floors and staining them and polyurethane and all that. My mom used to do that with every house. She loved hardwood floors, and she could do anything. She was a seamstress. She was she could macrame. She made those plant holders very intricately. She could do beading, all of that type of stuff. So she was really good with crafting. And I learned how to do it by watching her, but I didn't have the patience for doing it because it took a lot of time. And she had the time to do it. I couldn't do it because I didn't have the patience. So if I actually sat down and I could bring that to a community, I would probably, that would be my gift. Or I could just listen to your problems and help you through the whole traumatic scenario. So
I ain't bringing shit to a community that's gonna piss me off, and I can tell you that building shit is gonna piss me the fuck off. I can't stand to build a goddamn thing.
But what can you can cook though?
Yeah, you can cook your ass off.
You can cook. But you can cook.
I'll cook. I can grow vegetables. I can even take care of your livestock. If there are autistic people in the community, I could do that work. But I can tell you, and I'll be goddamn, don't put me on the building committee.
So that's a good thing though, because I think in the community you bring what your skills are. Like,
right,
we wouldn't. What's your and I think that's what happens is a lot of times people are plugged into places that they don't necessarily fit, And that's my argument about the education system. A lot of that one size fits all mindset isn't really good. A lot of young people that are considered behavioral issues, it's not that they are behavioral issues, it's just that what they're learning in school, they're not really that's not something that they have a passion for. So give them a curriculum that's catered to them specifically. You know what I mean?
I mean, I think it's that too. I also think it's not putting people in positions just because you're good at it don't mean that you should be doing it all the damn time.
Yeah,
Jesus was a great carpenter, but God knows that wasn't his call. So you got to.
Who was what?
I said Jesus was a good carpenter, but that wasn't his calling.
Yeah, because they ain't never said that he built nothing.
Right.
He probably did up until 33, and he said, "I'm done with this shit." And he went off into the wilderness.
This bitch asked him for cabinets and shit, and ain't got no screws, ain't got
Somebody got a whole cabinet built by Jesus.
No supplies. I'd have been to Home Depot twice.
That's funny.
Anybody else? What would you bring, Cable?
To the community.
Yes.
Yeah, what skill?
I mean, I'm gonna say my voice and my cooking. I mean, I could bring a lot to the community. I mean, I can't say really right offhand, but I mean, I know how to cook, but I mean, that's just something I just like to do. I mean, I really don't really know how to answer that, to be honest. I would actually, but you know what? I would like to help young LGBTQ guys as far as you know, dealing with the struggle of figure out who they are, what they want to be, you know, teach them the do's and the don'ts as far as the gay community, you know, just teach them from my experience and then, you know, help them to grow so they won't feel so alone and stuff like that. I feel like that's something that's definitely missing within the Black LGBT. I just want to be clear on that, the Black LGBTQ community, because I feel like the white ones have a lot of these things that help them, but I feel like we as Blacks don't have it for our people. That's just what I would give back to the community.
All right, Nate.
What would you bring, Miss K? You know what you good at. You and Christy, y'all should have this list down pat.
I was gonna say I'm pretty resourceful. Like in the community, with me, nothing would go to waste. Nothing to me, nothing is garbage. Everything can be reused and reused.
I'm so glad I'm not the only one.
Nothing else. Like and I would be on the love committee.
I'm on the building committee. I'm on the love committee. I'm on the cooking committee.
Yeah, I'm on all that. But my
making clothes. I'm making clothes, so we need clothes. So I got them loincloths.
Yeah, like I'm a gap filler, so I'll jump in wherever I'm needed.
Right.
That's good. And you, Mr. Nate, what would you bring to the community?
That's crazy because I've been thinking about like what my contribution is. Definitely the arts. And I think teaching. Like I'm great at teaching, even if it's something that I'm not an expert at. I'm good at picking it up and being able to teach somebody else how to do it, even if it's just the fundamentals of it. So I think out of everything that I'm great at, I think teaching is something that came so natural because I like helping people and I like just showing people a way. Because sometimes if you just teach somebody how to do something that can solve so many of their problems, because most times people they don't have the resources. They don't have, so you need all those parts that y'all mentioned, but I think teaching would be my contribution.
Nate, you just said Google me. And the only reason why I say that is because, and I'm not saying to be funny, but I've known you for years, you know what I'm saying? And you have contributed to this community from the time that I met you and you're still doing it, you know, and I just want to give you your props for that. You have definitely given that.
Send me a check. You know,
well, no, girl. I said your props. I just say I'm still getting
see, that's the shit right there. That's how we so divided. The shit right there. How you gonna congratulate me?
So I'm gonna say,
pay me, nigga.
I'm gonna say that And this is the thing about it. I think that was a really excellent question, because with the state of the way that the world is, I think for our young generation, that I think as elders, as the the adults in the community, we should pass on some skills that require them to use their hands. Like learning how to sew, learning how to cook, learning how to learn. Well, I mean, beyond counting, just being able to do it for themselves. Because people are so. I think for me, everyone's so easily. They think about paying for stuff, paying for services, and many of the services they pay for, they can do themselves. You save yourself a whole lot of money. It's funny because I was looking at like people, young people that braiding hair, beauticians, manicure and pedicure, esthetician, skincare. Those are things that you can do in your own home, and you're paying people $50 and hundreds of dollars to do these things to beautify yourself, and you can do it for yourself, and you can do it naturally. You don't even have to use chemicals. You can use the stuff that's in your kitchen to beautify yourself. It just requires some education. So I just feel like we should be the ones to pass on that knowledge, to how to take care of yourself when you don't have any money, when you don't, when you believe that the resources are limited and you have to depend on yourself.
Yeah,
that's what's really missing, I believe. A lot of those social living skills, many of us, with convenience, we've lost a lot of traditions. And I think that's
like bartering.
Well, because of because of technology, we then kind of got used to like we don't really have to raise our own animals and stuff anymore, because you can pretty much just go to the store and buy whatever meats you want to get or whatever vegetables you want to get. And so people, because they're so caught up in the workforce, they don't really take time out to say garden and grow their own vegetables, or just take time out to do those things that were being done back in the day out of necessity. Whereas now it's just like, it's a luxury to just say, okay, well, I'm gonna grow a garden or something like that, because everybody's used to just going to the store and getting it. But with the way, like you said, the way things are going now, I mean, nothing is really secure at this point. I mean, you got stores closing all over the country, and I don't know if people noticing, but it's a lot of stores that we was going to last summer that are not here now. And so it makes you really think, like, okay, now if they close these markets down, or COVID gets to the point where things get kind of crazy, what you gonna do?
And and it looks like it's going in that direction, because as I stated in the beginning, they're like, oh yeah, COVID is airborne, or they have that knowledge now that it's possibly airborne. And it's now winter and it's fall. So what happens is pneumonia season, it's flu season, it's all of those respiratory situations. And now you have this, and it has not been addressed. So we have to get into the mindset of surviving. How will we survive in a situation where shit is going to get shut down again?
Yeah, because I mean, if the shit hit the fan, it's like, what skills do you have? Because I mean,
but my question is for the creators and producers and all like that, like, would you be willing to barter your product?
Well, I mean, that was what was going on before money came in the picture anyway. I was just talking about
that's what I'm saying. But nowadays, it's like your product is supposed to be priced at like 5 times, I think it's 3 or 5 times whatever you pay for supplies. So it's like, I understand that as far as making money, but now are you willing to barter your product?
But I think in a sense of survival, when you're in survival mode, you ain't gonna be thinking about, what money, because money's not gonna matter. You know what I mean?
It's not.
Like if I make coats and you make shoes, you know what I mean? I'm gonna make your coats and you gonna make my shoes, and both of us gonna have coats and shoes. And then the next person down the street might make blankets, or they might grow food or whatever. And so that's what I mean, like, what skill would you have to offer somebody in a situation where money is no longer in existence? What could you offer somebody to say that's of value that could help save them and save you too?
All I know is that in this tribe, I would be able to survive in this tribe.
I think that beyond all of this, one of the things that we're not, taking into account is that people adapt. That's what we do. And this is why I think history is important. There's always been disease. There's always been famine. There's always been war. There's always been this shit. And humans adapt. And that's what the fuck we'll do. We'll adapt. It'll be new.
And look, and for the chubby ones, we might last a little longer.
I'm glad you brought that up.
We will change. It will change. We will evolve. We will move forward. I think that we kind of get caught up in a loop of like alarm and oh my god, what's going to happen instead of just fucking facing
it's fear.
It is.
But I feel like if you live in your heart space, I feel like I don't wish.
I personally, I feel that we will adapt and we will be okay. We will live or we will die, but we will go on. And it's making sure that we just leave something better for those who have to do it. Education has to change. We need to adapt.
I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up because you said history. What I do notice about history is people don't really pay attention to it. Because a lot of the shit that has happened in history repeats
itself.
And in this situation and situations beyond, like you said, the stuff hasn't happened. This isn't new. None of this stuff is new. But what's new, it always appears like it's new, even though you've read about it, you've seen this shit happen before, and it always strikes as no one's prepared, even though you've heard the story before.
I think that technology has given people enough of a safety net that they don't fear things that the world has had to fear for the most of its existence. We don't look at polio as something that's going to, attack us, but for most of the existence of humans in the world, polio was killing the fuck out of people. Smallpox was killing the fuck out of people. We are like one of the few generations that has not had to worry about that. And people knew that there were viruses that were coming because shit just evolves and changes. But, when you politicize viruses, then that's when you have some other dumb shit. And I think that is also part of adapting and evolving, that we have to move past this shit where we don't believe scientists, where we don't believe, health workers, where we think everything is a fucking conspiracy. And sometimes somebody really is trying to help. Everybody's like Dr. Sebi. What if you found out Dr. Sebi was a conspiracy and the doctor down the street was telling you the truth? Both niggas telling you to eat vegetables and drink water, but you don't want to listen to one because he doesn't look a certain way. And this one is talking and says natural on it, so you listen to him, but you're still not eating vegetables and drinking water.
Mm-hmm.
So, I do think there's a little bit of Darwin shit in here that if you keep on running your head into the wall, you're eventually going to fucking die. So you got to pay attention and adapt. Eat vegetables, drink water, do the shit you should have been doing. Washing your hands should not be a fucking CDC code where you got to tell everybody to wash their hands.
That shit like it was a breakthrough. Oh my gosh, if you wash your hands, guess what? You limit the disease. Who knew?
It's like, but we look at some people, they only want to hear from a natural person, but they're saying the same shit this other person's saying. Fine, that don't bother me. Just do the shit. Just do it.
Yeah.
Look at AIDS. Everyone had to adapt because of AIDS. Either you're going to put the shit on or you're going to be a little more responsible with how you have sex or you're going to get it. That's what the fuck it is. That's all that you shrug and move on. Did it change sex forever? Fuck yeah, it changed sex forever. It made you think a little bit different when you go in some holes than when you did before. But you adapt and you move the fuck on. Now you look twice. You may want to.
Some holes are dark and wet. Some of them are dry and savory.
You may want to turn the light on that hole every now and again.
Dry and savory.
And savory.
And savory.
I ain't never had dry.
It smells oniony.
Savory sound like code for salt.
Moving on. That just next question. Oh no! Once you start talking about savory holes, I'm good.
Random dumb shit.
Oh man.
Who would you not nanny for?
You said who would you not
nanny for? Babysit. Elmira from Tiny Toon Adventures, or what's her name? Pickles.
Angelica.
from Rugrats? Who would you not babysit?
See, I can't answer that question because I like those types of children because it brings out the paternal instinct in me to tell them to sit the fuck down. Like, I like that type of child.
Right, but which one of them would you not babysit?
I'm about to say, like,
Angelica.
Why?
Angelica. Because Elmira to me really fucked with animals. She didn't really mess with the adults. She was just crazy about animals.
I love you and kiss you and keep you for my very own.
Oh, she's not bothering the adults. Go ahead, mess with the cat.
Next, though.
No, she wouldn't come over my motherfucking house.
I love those type of children because you just gotta.
First of all, I ain't nannying for no white girls. That sounds like I'm gonna be the one in trouble. So fuck that shit.
Say it again.
I'm not doing it. You ain't gonna say I touch. Yell.
No.
Say it again.
No. I need an
adult. They wouldn't act that way with us. They act that way with them white, colorful people. They wouldn't act that way over.
Another thing I wouldn't do
alone with a little white girl, so you can say I did any damn thing. No,
right.
I'm not taking care of nobody's children. Not because I just don't want no children. I ain't nannying for nobody. I don't want nanny for children, old people. I don't want cat sit. I don't want to do nothing. Take care of your own ass.
I want you fish sit. I got some fish I need you watch where I go out of town.
They be dead as doorknob. Let me tell you. You be like, yo, why am I dead?
You fish sit. Keep a goddamn dead.
Keep your children, keep your old people.
Make sure you turn the light off at a certain time. I don't want them to get stressed out.
No. Let me tell you, your little fish will be on their backs, and I'll be like, they sleeping. They good.
I don't
come to pick my fish up, and he having fish and potato salad for dinner. Where my damn fish at?
When you set that fish tank in, when you brought it in the house, that's where it's gonna be when you come get it. I haven't even touched it, so don't bring them. I don't do animals.
Did you feed my fish? I thought they could feed themselves. They look old enough. So yeah, I would be bad. All right. Question. Yeah. Which is more entertaining, male strippers or female strippers?
Female.
I'm not really into strippers, but I've gone to some events where they had male strippers there because a friend of mine was really into strippers. Mm-hmm. And so, I'm going along with just, and I was not entertained. Like, I was not entertained. Like, you snaking around and shit. First of all, the bitch ripped my shirt. I was mad as hell. That was back when everybody was wearing them sheer shirts and shit. This bitch gonna come up and try to hump all hard and shit and grab my goddamn sleeve all hard and rip my goddamn shirt. And he thought he was really doing some sexy shit, but I was not amused at all. And then the one before that, he tried to strip and got caught in his clothes. It was bad. He had on boots. He was supposed to be like a cowboy or whatever. I don't know what the fuck. But he had on cowboy boots, but the pants that he had on was tucked in the boot. So he's snaking and, doing his thing or whatever, and went to pull the pants off, forgetting that he had these fucking boots on and got caught up in the game, in the pants and the boots. He had to sit down on the floor and untangle him fucking stuff. I was like, I can't do this. I can't. Whereas females, they more graceful. They can go up the pole and slide down and do tricks and shit. Men, the only thing they doing, I ain't never seen a man on a pole. You know what I mean?
I told you one the other day.
Yeah, but he was wearing heels. I'm talking about a man.
Well, he's a man. So
no. I'm talking about a man that like women that ain't wearing fucking heels on the pole. Ain't never been on no goddamn pole.
I mean,
some of the men you was watching don't like women.
You probably right. That's probably why I wasn't attracted to him because it wasn't good.
I like female strippers too. I don't like male strippers. The few times that I've been in the presence of male strippers, like it was just too much for me. Like First of all, I
think
what men don't understand is that your penis is
not. He is disrespectful.
It's wrong. Like you come out, you want to flap your penis in a sock all over me, and then you want to do a handstand and make it flop on my face, and then you want to violate my personal space and pick me up and turn me around and do all these things to me.
First of all, I got too much weight for you to be picking me up and tossing me around like a goddamn rag doll. You gonna work for this shit?
But they do it.
you ain't gonna just lift me up any old kind of way.
It's too much. I would rather see. I'm impressed by female strippers. I'm impressed by the athleticism. Any bitch that can climb to the top of a pole, come down, slide down, then get into a handstand, split, drop down, and splash water on a bar full of people, and then take like a milk jug full of colored milk and make it shoot out her.
And then shoot a ping pong out of ass. Like yeah.
You deserve my whole 20. Like I'll come in with 41 and just shower because you're great. You're awesome. All that other stuff that you're talking about with the chaps and his butt is hanging out.
That shit ain't cute.
And your skin is beautiful, sir. But I don't need your schlong with shingles on it slapping me upside my face because I don't know you that well.
And then it had eyes on it.
Oh no.
See, so that's too much.
Well,
this is how y'all treat men. This is how y'all treat men.
So to answer the question, I pick women. And I pick women just because they just have they bounce. They got ass, they got titties.
They got more to look at.
Their moves are different. They do things differently, and as Ms. L said earlier, they do it in a more gracefully, which is what I like about female strippers. But I would disagree with Karen with her statement.
With the chaps?
Because for the I could say the same thing about female strippers when they put their titties and their vagina in my face, bitch. I don't know if you cleaned that out. I don't know what's going on underneath your bra. I don't know.
You know what you're.
So I just think it's just an art to it.
Titties do catch chicken crumbs.
But I think it's just an art to it, and both bring something different. I won't call men corny because I think men strippers are totally hot. I just would prefer to watch a woman because they just got a lot more going on. And to me, I just think it's just sexier. But men are definitely sexy and stripping. They do all that stuff, Mizelle. Let me take you to a strip club and you can be like, okay.
All right, well, I'm game for that. I mean, like I said, I ain't in the strippers, but I go.
And the flying there, they do everything. So
right, I want to see that shit.
It's props to them now.
Yeah,
but I'm just
saying some of them be a little corny. They be corny in real life.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, they be corny in real life. And it's like when I see that, it's like it's not convincing for me to want to be attracted to you because I know you corny in real life.
That's funny.
Now, if you a thug type, like you a real, like you a real dude, and you like you now you come out there with some Timbs and a beater and maybe some nice boxes, and I maybe some
gray sweatpants.
Yeah, some gray sweatpants stripper. I might be for that, but some hooping short stripper. Yeah, maybe that, but nah, all that you and that fucking grinding around and shit and nah, that shit is not cute.
Taking on the ground, humping the ground all hard.
That shit ain't cute.
I like them both. I just think if you know how to dance, that's all I look for. I look for dancing and I look for a nice body. Like if you have a nice physique and you know how to dance, then I'm it's entertaining for me. I think that a lot of times when they look at the body parts of your dick and your ass and your tits and everything have to be, I mean, they got to be proportioned, but at the same token, it's what you do with it because.
I don't know, because I ain't never seen no little dick stripper.
Oh, it's some in there. They just sell socks. Yes, they do.
Never seen one of them.
Socks and C-rings, okay?
He shouldn't even apply for the job. Like that's part of the rule that you're supposed to have some meat.
Socks and C-rings.
Strippers and they make a lot of money. That's why they still do it. Some people just do it because they just like the body, especially those white boy twinks little boys. They like that stuff. So they're gonna pay you to watch that little slinky no dick white boy dance because they like what they say. It's crazy, but it's
it ain't for everybody.
Structure of it. It's not always about the size.
I have a
yes it is.
I have a different perspective Because I used to do bookings for strippers. Like I used to book their events. So it's nothing that I haven't seen. And I think the corny factor is it comes from them. I'm not gonna say most of them. A lot of them have learned what they've learned from drag queens. Believe it or not, a lot of the strippers, like the male strippers, learned a lot of their, especially the way they dress. They're very flamboyant, and they've learned a way of doing something, and that's what they like. Nobody's ever told them, I don't like that, because most of the people there are horny. So they
they were.
So nobody is saying, hey, that ain't hot. That ain't. And most of them think because they have a big dick for the males, and that's the be all end all to it. But I've done.
It helps. It damn sure helps.
So, go ahead.
Sure.
All right, that was that. Why is it? Next question. Why is it forbidden to date your friend's ex-boyfriend?
That shit caused too many fucking problems.
Why is it forbidden?
That shouldn't be.
I know that it's forbidden. I wouldn't say that it's forbidden. I feel like
it's an unwritten rule.
What's the rule? Who wrote that rule? Why can't I date your ex?
I'm greedy.
It's about respect. There's no rules to it. It's just about respect and human decency, yo. And if that's your best friend, then you operate as such. You know, that's an action word. It's just not always about verbalizing it. You gotta show some activity with that, and respect should come in there naturally, just because of you being my friend and you being a man or a woman or whoever the situation is. But it's just a respect thing. That's all about it.
But I wouldn't say that it's forbidden. When you say it's a respect, I feel like if it's an ex involved and my friend is interested in my ex, he's my ex for a reason. So I mean, I feel like out of respect, yes, come to me and say something like, "Hey, I'm interested in dating ex boo, you know, how do you feel about it?" If I don't give a shit, then by all means, fuck him. I promise you his stroke is erratic, but by all means,
to each his own. Enjoy.
Right, to each his own. Enjoy. Like, I don't want this nigga. He got an erratic ass stroke and his feet smell like corn chips. That's why we not together now. But have at it, boo. But if I'm still strung out and in love over my ex, you coming to me is giving me a heads up that, hey, maybe it's not what I think it is in my head. I just feel like the respect doesn't come in the forbidden. I think it just comes in the conversation between me and my friend, like, hey, this is what I'm trying to do. How do you feel about it?
But
I think the assumption is, I think in some cases people feel like, did y'all start fucking after or before? Like,
right.
I think that's where the stigma comes from. Like, your relationship just didn't blossom since we haven't been together, but y'all was planning this or plotting this before. So I think.
But is that them or is it you? But if he's
my ex, I don't care.
It's up because that's not them. Because the reality is that what if they just happen to meet up and that they vibe?
Right.
So it's not, that's your insecurity. That's not their fault.
And what if they met outside of you? Like, what if you never introduced the two of them and, you know, karma just happened to, or whatever, the fates happened to bring them together? Like, how can you feel some kind of way about that?
I don't know, because I feel like if we close enough friends, you should have met every fucking body I've ever dealt with.
So you ain't my friend, boo.
But what about jump offs? Do jump offs count as ex? You an ex jump off?
A jump off?
It's an ex jump off. You know you don't keep all the. You know you don't keep all the jump offs.
No,
me personally, I'm not going to mess with anybody.
We're not talking jump offs, though. Like, nobody gives a fuck about a jump off. A jump off.
Nobody cares about a jump off.
There's no label, there's no relationship. They're not meeting nobody. A jump off is a fucking jump off.
Just a jump off.
Exactly. Say it again.
Was a good jump off. You gonna have a little attitude.
Yeah, you would. You like,
No, because I feel like if it's a jump off, you can always go back.
Wait a minute, y'all.
The jump off ain't gonna give a damn.
You got a point there. You have
a jump off, or share with whoever is willing to take it.
Did you say that's community property?
That's community property.
I don't know. I'm gonna say this. I think that I don't think it's insecurity. I don't think it's anything. I just think that everybody operates differently. Nobody operates the same. And if you're my friend, then you know how the fuck I operate.
Right.
But and that's just straight up. Like, if it's one of them situations where, because I'm very cautious of who the fuck I call my friend, number one. And if I'm cool with this motherfucker, and I was telling like, look, man, we've been going through this shit, and now you was giving me fucking advice and shit because I'm coming to you as my friend, and then we break up, now all of a sudden y'all together and shit.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have a question or two. I don't know if I'm gonna be pissed, but I'm gonna have a fucking question. Like, you could have just said that shit's jump. Like,
I just think it keeps the confusion down with not messing with people's
to jump off. I mean, shit, everybody can try it. Maybe she good pussy. I don't know.
I mean, I'm not into doing people's exes because sloppy seconds, but to each his own.
I mean, everybody is somebody's ex, so that's just one thing. And everybody is somebody's
knowingly.
But chances are, if that's a friend, that means you've been, even if y'all have never done anything, that means you've been thinking about it. Y'all didn't just to say, "Oh, let's do this together," y'all. Like,
no, but I don't think it's that, and I think that's why a lot of issues happen, because sometimes you just vibe. It's not that you met this person,
but you ain't supposed to be vibing with nobody I vibe with before you.
You know how I operate. If you know how I operate, then you go accordingly. If you don't operate the way I operate, go ahead. Because we ain't doing all this fucking dipping and dabbing and confusion and shit and causing drama and shit. And you want to sit in my house with bullshit
and cry about the bitch.
You got time for that bullshit. That's just too much fucking drama. I can't stand drama. And then if you want to be with it, go ahead. That's great. God bless y'all union. But I just ain't.
But don't think you're gonna come over here and put your motherfucking ankles underneath my table at Sunday dinner with this bitch.
And we gonna sit around like them two niggas talking about shit, like you had it your way and I had a mine.
I had a mine.
Somebody's gonna say some shit that's gonna get under your skin, and then I'm gonna have to actually fucking go up. But
and see, that's the other part of it. You just don't want to
operate different. I'm very upfront about how I operate, and I think that everybody should be upfront about how they operate. I don't want niggas putting their hands in my chicken box and shit. So fuck, you gonna put your hands in my damn pussy?
Not yours, your ex.
It was his at one point.
That's at one point. It's not current.
It's still mine. It's like that toy you don't play
with. So you can't.
Again, as I said, as I operate, no.
All right. Well, what about the flip side? You are a real
fucking friend. I probably talk to your ass about this shit, and I'm talking about a real relationship. I'm not talking about some shit where I'm just fucking a nutting off in places. I'm talking about if this was a real relationship. And number one, for people that know me, know that if for me to get into a real relationship means that it took a lot for me to get to that point. So if I'm there and then we are talking and I'm telling my friend, like, yo, or any situation that we have, and he gives me advisement or whatnot, and then we get back to that situation. Now we done broke up. How do I know? How can I trust that you were advising me correctly? How can I trust that you wasn't plotting on this motherfucker the whole time?
So what I'm thinking about, what I'm talking about is a situation in which the person, your ex, is dating a friend, but that could have been a distant situation. So say, for instance, it was a girl that you was dealing with 3 years ago that your current friend wouldn't know nothing about.
I ain't got no new friends. I don't know.
All right. Well, wait a minute. Hold on, because I'm getting ready to play dumb. What if your ex comes to you? What if your ex calls you up the phone and it's like, "Hey,
what the fuck you calling me for?"
No, listen. Let's say you still friends with your ex, and they call you and say, "Hey, I met so and so, and he say he know you. I'm interested." Maybe dudes don't go through this, but I've gone through this with an ex where he's like, "Listen, I ran into this chick. Come to find out, y'all run in the same circles. How would you feel if I started dating her?" Give a fuck. I don't want you.
I don't know. I think, again, how I operate is very different, because if it's just some person I know, then that's probably not really a fucking friend. It's just an acquaintance. And that's very different.
Yeah,
I'm talking about a real fucking friend. We talking about like a real friend. One of my real fucking friends.
A main apple crackle type motherfucking friend.
Oh, hell yeah. There's going to be a little bit of an issue. just some random nigga I watched the game with and drank
First
a
of
beer
all,
with every now and again.
the fact that they might have to bring the ex around. You know, like if y'all are that close, that means this friend is usually at events that you have. They're around, and for them to come in with your ex, you know, it's like it just causes confusion. I just feel like if you.
But how is that different from you and your ex having mutual friends? Y'all break up, but you still share those same mutual friends.
I don't have mutual friends with none of my exes.
Oh.
We ain't had the same.
I have a situation where I do have somebody that I talk to, and I just got to deal with that shit because everybody else still want to be her fucking friend. So I got to sit there and just smile like a motherfucker because I do want to come.
Let's give him a hug. Everybody,
that's what the fuck it is. Since everybody just loves her to death, and I just had to deal with it. And I had to find a way to just be cool with the bitch. And
so you just every time she come over, you just put X-Lex in her food.
I quit.
No, it was not that. It's just you just sit there. And you know what? But that was a situation. That was a situation where it wasn't a thing where people were dating my ex or all this other bullshit. But everybody knew what the fuck she did to me, and they still chose to be her fucking friend. So now I wouldn't operate that way when I know that this bitch did you dirty. That I'm just gonna be sitting there kikiing and fucking eating and drinking with the whore. But since everybody else
talking about,
then they can go fuck home. So I learned we're going to go from the first thing I said in the conversation. I adapted. So now when she come around, it's cool. Because everybody else just had to make it cool. But I know that that's not how I operate. Where if I know you was with somebody and y'all was doing whatever and then shit got real, I ain't doing that dumb shit.
Some people are just friends. Like, okay, they are within the circle of the person that you're dating. But once you break up with them, I don't associate with those people anymore. Like, I just don't. Like, I feel like it's nobody that I done got that close with an ex that I felt like I had to keep in contact with and hang out with them and all that other stuff. I just nobody.
So you never had a friend who you met? I met my ex through that friend. Like, that person is our mutual friend. I'm not going to cut off my friend who I knew well before my ex.
Well, then,
because me and my ex broke up. Say it again.
The ex is cut. So it's like, okay, if you still friends with that person, I don't have to see my ex. You know, when y'all hang out, I don't want to, I'm not involved in that part of it. But
yeah, but if your friend has an event, the chances of your ex being there.
But if you're my real friend and you know how me and that person got down, you wouldn't invite that person there. Like,
so you gonna make your friend choose sides?
I mean, if you know it's I just won't come. Like, I don't have to deal with that because like I said, I'm not friends with anybody that's friends with an ex. You know, I would say that they are truly a friend. Where I'm like, oh, that's like somebody that I will hang out with. Now, it's people that I've met through exes that were cool. And if I saw him on the street, yeah, hey, what's up? You know, how you been? This and the other. But as far as me like calling them up and how you been and hanging out with them and shit like that, I'm not doing that. Because I feel like it's like once we break up, all that shit that came with you goes with you. I don't want none of that shit.
I feel like, again, it's situational because if I fucked your friend and I was just fucking your homegirl, then that's something different. We can still see each other at parties and still come bring your book. That's something different. But for me, a relationship, that is very different. That means that you didn't have respect for it from jump. You didn't give a fuck about it now because you know me and you know how I operate.
You know, I think that with a lot of, I don't know. I just think for me, when I'm dealing with my situations, I feel like if you're my ex, before we were in a relationship, we were friends. So what I think we lose in the relationship component is the fact that we're no longer romantically intimate, but you're still going to be my friend. So if I see that, I look at it as, how did we end? If we ended on, like I said, me again, I believe my foundation is about friendship. So prior to me doing anything romantically with you, I was your friend first. And then we progress to a romantic relationship. But should we not be able to kind of, if we don't mesh romantically, I think that we can still be friends. And if someone that I know likes you, and y'all make it cool. And I think it would be awkward because the friendship love is still going to be there. So the intimacy is still there. And I think that that's where it becomes a little bit muddy because the intimacy is based off of friendship. So it has nothing to do with the sex. It has everything to do with you going to tell me everything that y'all doing, and is your friend going to be okay with that? Because we have that foundation, that friendship. If it was anything outside of that, like all of my exes are my friends. They still come around. They still talk to me. I know who they're dealing with if they want me to know. They keep their people away from me. I'm okay with that.
But see, that's you really developing a friendship. Most relationships, or I say a lot of relationships, they're not based in friendship. It was we fucked and now we together, and when it go bad, it go bad. So that means they didn't develop the friendship to begin with.
All right, moving on. Next question. Did anybody have a question? Anything that they wanted to use? Because these cocktail questions have been kind of spicy.
Got a little bite. They got a little bite.
They got a little bite to them.
Let me see. All right, complete this sentence. I am a closet
freak. Say no. Oh no.
No.
Closet.
That's the only thing that you can put right there.
Okay.
No, because I ain't a closet about my freak.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm definitely a freak. That's just what it is. I like Hallmark movies.
Aww.
The good ones.
Yeah, them good ones. There's some good Hallmark movies.
Around Christmas time.
It always be some shit like she moved from a farm. She moved from the big city, get a farm, get a dog. It's the same movie, but they always have a
closet romantic. Is that what it is?
I'm not even a closet romantic. I love romance. I fucking love that shit. For the right person. Not everybody getting that shit.
I think I'm a closet procrastinator. That shit is tough.
I'm a straight
Use a fucking open front outdoor. Use an open procrastinator.
First of all, no, I'm not, because I find it very well. It be when I come across a nigga like you that's a procrastinator and I just fit in. So
no, thank you.
We've been ignoring our guests, y'all, online.
Yeah, also got a long statement on here.
Oh, do tell. What should I know about about our guests? Because I did speak to Arthur, and I did say thank you for everyone that had been participating, but I didn't see any comments.
He got a new comment in here, I think. Let me see.
Yeah.
He says sometimes the friends turn out to be the best thing for you, especially when the ex was no good from the jump. Karma, karma, karma. It's strange how the best thing for you was sitting in your face the whole entire time. The chemistry was always there, but you were too afraid to cross that line because of friendship. And once Pandora's box got opened, your life completely changed for the better because the ex was holding you back the entire time. And to this day, no relationship they've had has worked in their favor. First of all, Arthur, first of all, that sounds like somebody hit a chord. That is a fresh wound.
That was fresh.
Mm-hmm.
But I thank you for the comment. Now, what I will say is that I agree. I think that a lot of times, honestly, I think people don't know how to engage in relationships in a healthy manner. And I think that we've been conditioned to be superficial and can't go beyond some material things. And we don't know how to work through our conflicts. A lot of times in relationships, I think people don't know that there are two individual people coming together to form a union, and that you don't lose your individuality just because you're in a relationship. If anything, it should enhance you. Whatever you're weak at, they should be able to support you with, or encourage you, or strengthen you, or teach you, and vice versa. I think that people are so willing to just throw relationships away because things don't go their way. And another thing is, I think a lot of people function in relationships with a lot of ego. So instead, they want it to be the way they want it to be because they feel as though it deserves to happen this way for them. and they don't know that it's about compromise. So sometimes it's not going to be 50-50. It may be 60-40. It may be 40-60. But being willing to move beyond those things to work together and to learn one another is a skill. And I just don't think a lot of people have that emotional maturity. That's not something that's developed in a lot of adults. You know what I mean? I think that we've been broken by shit that happened in our past, and we haven't moved beyond it. And then we get in these relationships and we just do more damage to one another instead of actually working towards healing one another. So
I think people, that was a great answer. But I think many people that I see out here today, they're getting into relationships because the sex is good, or they're homosexuals who need a meal ticket. And I think a lot of that is happening. So you're building real relationships under false intentions or hidden motives, and then you're expecting for that relationship to flourish. Because at some point you do fall in love, and you like, well, but you never built anything solid with that person to actually have a real relationship. But that's just I'm just seeing a lot of toxic relationships like that that's built on sex and finances.
Well, sex and finances are very important.
But you should have those things before you get into the relationship. I think people get into relationships looking for sex and finance, and I think that you're supposed to come with those. You know, you're supposed to have those things already.
Yeah.
Or working towards those things, and you shouldn't expect me to carry your load because
a lot of people are looking for as what's her name, Jonathan, the chick who sang Amela Rue would say, the other half that makes them whole. Like it shouldn't.
Oh, that was my favorite song.
Yeah, it shouldn't be the other half that makes you whole. You should come whole already.
Right. And a lot of people aren't. They look at,
I'm not ready. Stop.
I see that in a lot of women too.
They need what they want. I think that a lot of times there's so many of these slogans where, you know, I find the other half of me, or I find the other half that makes me whole. If that's how those people feel, then that's how they feel. I think that there is no one great way for a relationship. Every relationship is different. Everybody's going to get something different out of it. Is it going to be toxic? Possibly. Will you need counseling? Possibly. Is it going to be good and great? Some people have relationships where nobody needs anything from it other than what they have. Some people in relationships, they broke as fuck, but they love each other more than anything, and they go to fuck on. Some people rich as shit, and they go to fuck on. Everybody has their own thing, and when you're with somebody who's not aligned with who you are, then that's when you're gonna have some fucking problems. Now, I'm not saying that they have to be just like you, but they respect your boundaries. They respect what you're going to put up with and tolerate, and you move on from there. I'm not a person that says I love you. I don't like saying it all the fucking time. I will say it, and it takes a lot for me to say it. I don't say it to my mother all the time, but I show it, and that's just who I am. Now, if that's not what you can deal with, then that's probably going to be an issue from jump. But if we have that conversation, I tell you, that's just who I am. It's not that, you know, I'm having some mental breakdown and God, it's just that I don't say it all the time. I don't even think to say it all the time, but I do think to show it.
Right.
I do think that just sometimes just sit there with your ass while you having a bad day. You know, I may just go get you some fucking Popeyes, but maybe for somebody else, that shit doesn't work for them. And you just, it is what it is. And you have to respect who you are and what's your boundaries and all that other bullshit.
So I think that I agree, and I also believe that what you're saying in that statement is that you're not saying that you're unwilling to say I love you. It's just that you don't do it often. So that just means that you just have to, you know, it's still compromise. Okay, I don't say it often, but I do know when to say it.
I mean, that was just an
you know
example
what I mean?
of something small that becomes something big later on, where instead of just recognizing that everybody is different and everybody's relationship is going to be different and everybody's tolerance for certain things are going to be different, and people just have to learn how to respect those things.
Okay.
Tamika says some do not know how to have an open and honest communication with the other in any type of relationships.
That's how you learn.
Let me tell you something. Look, the funny thing is mother is on the back talking about rap, and all this rap. I don't care about your countdown. Don't scare me. Don't scare shit. If you tuned into the Kocktail Social today, by all means, we thank you. We appreciate you. This is the Kocktail Social. I'm your host, Blue Waters. We have to bid you adieu and good night. I hope that you join us next week for another cocktail gathering and a Kocktail Social and some drinks and on Be Exposed Radio. Peace and blessings. See you next week. Don't be over here telling us to hurry up. How you going to rush us to hurry to hull up and everything when you didn't even have the passcode until 5 minutes later?
You got to roll your neck when you say that, Blue.